So the Celtics have made their way to the finals. However, everybody is talking about how easy their walk has been to get to the stage that they're at. By the third game, every team that they have faced has had their star player hurt at least. And this is an issue. I mean, I believe the Heat, Jimmy Butler was hurt in the entire series. This is an issue because you have them going against. I mean, I'm just gonna call it as it is. I have the Mavs winning, even if the Timberwolves do pick up a win. I don't see them winning four straight. Me personally, I see the Mavs and Luka and company taking care of business tonight and advancing to the finals. And we have I believe, an 8-day gap in between the finals from this game four that they're going to be having. Look, the issue that I have, if I'm Celtics fans, if I'm the Celtics in general, is that we have not tested our 1-2 punch against any other 1-2 punch at all. We have Jaylen Brown. I believe that the Celtics have a great roster. They have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and Jason Tatum, we know the caliber of player he has. We know how he's able to elevate his game. The issue with Jason Tatum is that he hasn't elevated his game when it came to the finals last time he was here. He hasn't. When it comes to Jaylen Brown, we've seen him. He was the best player in that last final series. What I'm trying to get at is we have this 1-2 punch that has yet to be tested, and they've already shown that at least one of them has struggled in this environment, in the finals environment. And the last thing that we want is to have another loss on this Celtics team and us having talks of blowing this duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown up. I don't see the Celtics winning against the Mavs. However, I do think that this is a must-win for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. This is kind of the same how it was when Braun was in Miami. And it was Game 6. And if Braun didn't get the job done against this team, it was time to blow up that big three that was in Miami because they couldn't win one. I believe that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and company are facing that exact same pressure. It's time to split this duo up if they can't get the win done against the Mavs. I'm not saying that these guys aren't stars. Jason Tatum was All-NBA first team. He was up there on MVP voting. We just saw we have a Eastern Conference Finals MVP in Jaylen Brown. These guys are getting their credit. They're in the news. They're in media. They're getting the stuff that they deserve. They're getting their flowers that they deserve. However, all that stuff doesn't mean anything if you can't get the job done. And in all honesty, they've had a cakewalk to get to this finals. They faced a injured, beat-down Heat. They faced an injured Cavaliers. Two teams that they honestly should have beat. They beaten 4 and 5, but it shouldn't have been close. The game should be blowouts. We should be seeing the dominance. This should be time, if anything, this is time to show your defensive prowess because you're going to need it. You're going to need it going against the Mavs, going against the best backcourt in the NBA and Luka and Kyrie. You're going to need Derek White to step up. You're going to need Drew Holiday to step up. You're going to need Jaylen Brown to step up. And you're definitely going to need Jason Tatum to step up. If he's not stepping up on the defensive end, he has to step up in scoring. We cannot rely on just Jaylen Brown to be the primary scorer for this series. It's not going to work. I think we all see the talent that Jason Tatum has. We all see the potential that Jason Tatum has. But people are calling this man the second best player on the team. There's nothing wrong with being second to Jaylen Brown. But when you're a person of Jason Tatum's talent and caliber and stature, you want to be the leader on your team. Because that's what we've been painting you as that for years. Because we see the talent. We understand what you can do when the lights are on. Until we get to the finals. So this is a must-win, not just for the Celtics, but I really think for Jason Tatum. Now, do I think they pull it off? No, I don't. I think Luka is just that much of a better player. They have the vet and Kyrie there in that locker room, and they're putting on dominating. They've been putting on dominating performances as a duo. And honestly, the defense of the Mavs impresses me. How they're able to contain Anthony Edwards and company. How they're it really Cat is stopping himself, but that's a combo for a different video. But look, we have Jason Tatum, who has to step up. We have Jaylen Brown, who is already showing that he is able to step up when it matters. What it's going to come down to is inside scoring, because I think that's the reason why the Timberwolves have not won a game in this series against the Mavs, because the Timberwolves have kind of eased back on attacking the glass. Cat is focusing on shooting. He's taken 32 attempts from three. That's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous, and he's only made 4 of them. That's horrible. You have to find ways to get in the paint, and I understand shooters shoot, and Chris Paul said it on Inside NBA, I believe. Shooters shoot, and you can't tell a guy like Cat to stop shooting. But at some point, Cat has to tell himself, look, my shot's off. Let me go. I know there's not a big man that the Mavs have that can stop me when I'm really in my bag offensively. Let me go take care of business. It's exactly what he did to Jokic. He challenged the best player in the world. I'm so confused on why he's not doing it against a team that doesn't have that dominating defender inside the paint protecting the rim. Now, when we talk about the Celtics, they're getting Porzingis back. It's going to be a little break in between. They get their time to get Porzingis back. He should be around somewhat healthy, and he's going to be the rim protector. And it's going to be a lot harder for the Mavs to score inside. They're going to have to focus on knocking down shots. And if that's the case, if you're stopping Luka and Kyrie, who can at times be the best slashers in the NBA, then you want to really put emphasis on that perimeter defense, and that's where you get your guys like Derek White, who's a great defensive presence. I believe he got 5 steals in the last game against the Pacers. You have Drew Holiday. We already know what he's capable of on the defensive end. You have Jaylen Brown. He's no slouch on defense. He knows what he can do on the defensive end. You need Jason Tatum to step up. If he's not going to step up in the defensive end, he has to start making shots. He has to start going bucket for bucket with Luka. And once you get that done, then you really see a new side of the Celtics. But that's, again, I'm just speaking in hypothetical on who should win this series and why it's a must-win. This is a must-win for the Celtics. This is a must-win for Jason Tatum. And I honestly don't see this duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown sticking together if this all blows up throughout this final series. Because I mean, maybe you try again, but look, time is flying. Jason Tatum's not 19 anymore, guys. The memes aren't true. Jason Tatum's not 19 anymore. Jaylen Brown's getting older. You're just, at some point, you have to win. And it's going to be the second finals appearance, which is good. But at some point, you have to win. Look, this is the most even chance they're going to get in a minute. Because now they're not going up against the greatest shooter in the world, the greatest shooter that God's ever made in Stephen Curry. You're going up against somebody, one person who has finals experience. You're going against somebody else who they are comparing Jason Tatum to, Luka or JT, who's going to be the next face of the league. Those are conversations that the media is having, and this is going to be the most even that you get, because while Kyrie has finals experience with debatably the greatest player of all time, you have finals experience because you've been there before. So right now you have an edge and experience over this young player that you're getting compared to. It's time to see what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are really made of, especially Jason Tatum, because right now people are talking about Jaylen Brown as the best player on the team. The reason why many people are relying on this man right here is because they know what he's capable of, and come finals time, it's time for Jason Tatum to prove what he's capable of. I don't need Jason Tatum missing shots. I need him stepping up on the offensive end. If Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Drew Holiday are going to step up on defense, and we're going to have Porzingis being the rim protector, and he's going to step up on the offensive end on the other side of the court, we need to see a different side of Jason Tatum. It's not a request, it's a must, because I don't know how much longer that these two will have together if they can't get it done this season. It's that simple.